Hello, this is your resident non-anime watcher that still watches the anime movies in theaters to see if I'm intrigued about where some of these stories go and if I would be intrigued in watching the anime. Not even talk about the movie. The one thing I did notice, I've never seen this many females in an anime just showing whatsoever. It was about 9 females to 1 male. I've never seen that before. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon watching Jujutsu Kaisen Hidden Inventory Premature Death the movie. So if I'm understanding this correctly, slap me if I'm wrong. This is between season 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 where best friends kind of want their separate paths and one of them kind of wants to do good in this high school while the other one is like, we need to kill the whole population, only the people that could fight these demons or have these weird entities with them. And this is that story of different characters, different cameos. And I didn't know any of these cameos, but you could tell when some of these people showed up on screen, the audience went absolutely apeshit crazy. So I was like, oh, I guess that's a famous character, or I guess that's a famous character. So I do enjoy that. With the animation style, I think it's a positive because this one is a lot more wiry than other ones I've seen recently, like Dan to Dan. I can't remember other ones I've seen recently. Kaiju number 9. This one is a lot more wiry animation. I do like that little bit differenceness to it. It is violent. It has some language. So if I had to rate this one, this would be rated R if it was an MPA rating system. Okay, so the movie itself, I did enjoy it. There were some laws or, pacing issues in the third act, especially when the conflict concluded and you're trying to get some of these characters and what is actually prescribing for one guy that's going mentally apeshit crazy. I was expecting one scene to go bonkers, but decided to kind of go, tame and not show what could have happened in this one church of him kind of just losing his mind of, little things like that. The characters are fun. There's very interesting moments in this movie that I had to go, oh shit. And as a person who's never seen, maybe we've seen one of the other movies before, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It's probably on the channel. I don't really remember it. But there were some like 3 oh shit moments thinking, oh, are these characters done for? Are they Dunskies? And they weren't, except a couple of them. But I was like, okay, I did like that. Like not knowing what's going to occur for me being such a newbie in this anime. I am interested in how it did start off though, because it did start off with 2 female characters in this weird house that they had to do like a, reverse running to get out of this time warp. And it did correlate into them finally meeting these new characters. And I think that's where everyone in the audience went crazy because when they were done with this, I want to call it a level, but their job, a lot more people started coming upstairs and showing their faces, and people were like, oh! And I think a lot of people did enjoy that, and they liked those elements of the movie. Like I said, the action when it's on screen is superb. It gets pretty gory, especially in one scene that deals with the color of purple, and you're like, oh, okay. I like how they did it and what they're trying to portray with these different characters. I can say, though, sometimes when the oh shit moment happens, and me being a straight newbie into this and knowing what did occur, it did kind of, I would say, felt a little cheap. And what I mean by that is it felt like the stakes were way lowered with knowing that can some of these characters actually die? Are they like Super Saiyans like Dragon Ball Z, even though I haven't seen a single episode of Dragon Ball Z? But of course, the memes and everything where you're like, oh, can this character even die? Can this character even like, what can he not do? And I felt like both characters did feel that way in general. I did find it interesting when they were down below with that tree and like a bunch of like, I'm going to call it houses or tunnels. It's like, damn, they're truly ruining this and they're not caring. So it's like, damn, I always think about like the damage. And that's why I like Kaiju number 9 so much, where it's like they look at the aftermath of like the damage that these Kaiju do to cities and who has to clean up the guts. And this kind of like, okay, destruction. The voice acting, pretty solid overall. I saw this in Japanese subtitles. You don't do this in dub. Dub is the cheap way to go. You got to go in the original Japanese voice actors with the English subtitles. You just got to do it. I also heard it's very interesting that CG kid is doing this, that people are saying it was Crunchyroll. I don't know anything about that, but when hearing the audience talk, that's what they were saying. Also, what I really did like is this is kind of based in mostly in 2007, 2008, and did have something a little bit in the 2018 storyline, which that was like the last 5 minutes of the movie. But after that, they kind of did these Polaroid, okay, they're not Polaroid pictures, but if you were born in the 1990s and you went to camp or you had high school and you didn't have, camera phones, you had disposable cameras. You had normal cameras where you had to like take, pictures, take the real film out and go to Walmart, Walgreens to get the film developed. And they had this fun, montage of old pictures of when they were friends. And what was such a awesome thing that they did is a lot of the film, a lot of the pictures weren't in frame and or not perfectly shot where it's I don't know what to call I'm gonna call it's not out of frame, but what's it called? It's like focus. It's not focused, and there's a lot of crazy stuff like that, and you're just like, that is awesome that they put that much detail into it through in and throughout. So overall, I'm just gonna call it hidden inventory, premature death. I don't know exactly, like I said, if there's another movie that this connects to or not, but I had a fun time. Negatives, I did feel like it was a little bit paced in the third act. It's not the greatest, but like I said, would I watch this going further into it? Maybe, but do I have enough time in the day to do it? Probably not. So Jujutsu Kaisen, hidden inventory, premature death, I'm saying that completely wrong, will receive a 4 out of 5 Futons. It goes at 80%. We'll see what the critics' news scores gave this one. Critics, 0. Audience, 95. There we go. 95.80. Chase out here, the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm one of these Bluetoontopia. You Bluetonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I don't care if you watch this today, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And did you like this anime? Am I just crazy in the memory of not understanding it? Let me know down below.